So, hey hello all, welcome to Sam's Books Review. Today I'm gonna review the season 2 of the Wheel of Time series by Amazon Prime. I had finished watching this season just right now and I'm really very excited to share my thoughts. So, let me give one quick review for all the non-book readers who haven't tried any of the Wheel of Time series books by now. And then I just want to jump into the spoiler talk where we can able to discuss about all the alteration that they have done from the books to the series and how they eventually turned out to be. So the review for the non-book readers and my overall experience for the series is just wow. I haven't mentioned this word in any of my videos by now, and I'm thoroughly impressed by all the efforts they have made into the series here, and I just want to urge all the non-book readers to just survive the season 1 so that they can watch the season 2 and they can able to understand the full potential of the Wheel of Time series. This series is not actually very popular in the Indian subcontinent. We do have a lot of regional movie reviewers and booktubers who does explains all the storyline in an 1 hour long video. Even those people just forget about the series. A small part of my heart leads toward all the Indians to try this Wheel of Time series and rejoice it. But yes, I do think the season 1 failure massively impacted here, even though the series has been dubbed in our regional language, none of them paid any attention to the series. So yeah, hope they would make a better marketing strategy in the future season to promote them in the Indian subcontinent too. So yeah, you may face some difficulties too. So for the non-book readers, it may be slightly hard for you people to understand all the conflicts here. You gotta need to pay attention to all the minute details here in the series in order to understand them. So be patient and pay attention to all the details. You will get a good overall experience here. So yeah, that's all the review for the non-book readers. If you haven't read till the fourth book of the Wheel of Time series by now, do exit this video because this segment is going to contain a lot of spoilers. So now let's get into the spoiler talk. First thing is I want to mention the things I do mention in the season 1 review, where I do mention that you can't actually blame the showrunners for the failures of the season 1 because all the contents in the eye of the world is not actually interesting, right? And I can able to understand all the failure of the season 1 because of that. But here the showrunners have done a fair job in order to alter all the plot in order to make the series a lot more interesting here, and it does yielded out a good result too. Let me explain all the things that worked out really very well in the series. And the first thing is they have made a good importance to Lan and Moraine in the series. In book, we can't be able to understand these two characters, even though they are main characters evolving around the story, because they are not POV characters, right? We can't be able to understand all their thoughts. But here we can able to get a separate screen time with both these characters, which does elevates both of their bonding on a whole next level. And believe it or not, these bondings will elevate all the future events of the series. We are certainly getting there. I don't know which time that event is going to happen, whether in a season 3 or season 4. I'm eagerly waiting for that particular action sequence. And I do think Edwin's character has been crafted out really very well here. And by the very end of the Great Hunt, we can barely get four or five chapters from Egwene, right? It's been a long time by now. I do read the Great Hunt book, so yeah, a distant memory. But you can't able to understand all Egwene's chapters out there because she doesn't have enough screen time. Yeah, where in one chapter where she does mention all the tortures she had gone through in the Sianchan prison to Min Farsha, but that is not actually enough. We just need a lot of screen time with Igwen in order to understand her, and the showrunners gave a fair bit of screen time to Igwen in order to flourish, and the actors have done a fair bit of a job, and the showrunners dialogues and the Igwen's willpower all have been executed really very well, and I do love her character. Her character has been a favorite in the series. By the very end of the episode 6, where Mint has gone through a lot of torture by fighting back against Serena, the whole action sequence and the performance is super awesome from both the actresses. And the next thing is they actually introduced a land fear in the season 2 itself. By the book, she has been introduced and revealed herself to Randall Thor by the starting of the Shadow Rising book, right? And that event has turned out to be my favorite moment of the series by now. We can't actually get there because they have introduced a Lanfear character in the season 2 itself, but it's okay. The repeated occurrence of Lanfear and Ishamal character throughout the season does elevated the series on a whole next level. The one common complaint which I do mention in all my Robert Jordan books is they haven't given enough importance to all these Forsaken character. But in the series, they too been actually involved in the storyline and turning out the events. These things flourished out really very well. The Lanfear actress has been looking very threatening in the whole season. So yeah, they have done a fair bit of a job out there. And the next thing is Avianta's improves. Her fight against all the White Cloaks with the aid of Perrin by her side, the whole action sequence and the background score, everything is been a top notch. That scene is one of my favorite in the seasons. And yes, she does have only two or three action sequences, but even in those scenes we can able to understand all the IL customs. They have introduced IL in the season 2 itself, which is a very good job. And yeah, I am thoroughly impressed with all the making of the scenes around Avienta. And Rand's storyline is pretty good, but I do expect something more from him. He doesn't look out to be the main character in the series. So yeah, they need to do some fair bit of a job around the Rand's plotline, and around 92 she doesn't have any decisive role, but some of her screen time is somewhat actually interesting to watch. But overall, I do think Rand and Naini has been slightly underutilized in the season 2, and I do love the whole battle scene which does took place in Falme by the very end of the season. The both the White Cloaks and the Xian Chen army does have a decisive role to play against each other, and the Forsaken's involvement, the Ice Side is getting there. The whole thing is somewhat really very perfect. I do think this is slightly difficult for the non-book readers in order to understand what has been actually happening around there. But yes, for the book readers, this scene is very special. Matt just blowing the horn, the whole action sequence, man, it's been crafted out really very well. And there are some of the negatives which I do want to mention out here. I do think Perrin's character has been underutilized here. Perrin's specialty is known about to be leading the people, right? But here he is somewhat a solitary man who's been trying to reach out to Farme by the very end of this season. It is not actually working out really very well. So yeah, I do think Perrin would actually read the Two River folks against White Cloaks by the season 3. I do think they would make the plot line come in the season 3 itself. So let's wait and see. And I'm not impressed with this character in this season 2. And Matt's character is actually underutilized here. And the final battle scene actually saves his overall character out there. But yes, I do think he is also underutilized here. I do hated the way in which they do crafted out Min's character. I Min is going to be my top 5 favorite character in the Wheel of Time series by the end. I do think so. I do love her character very much. They do have crafted out her character pretty weirdly, right? She has been constantly bullied by Ishamal and Leandrin. Um, Book Min for sure will never betray anyone like that. And I do think Min's character has been introduced in some wrong way. So yeah, hope they would make some good judgment to her character in the upcoming seasons. And Suwan's and Moraine's relationship in the series is not at all working out. And in the season one itself, they do just complicated their relationship by showing the two of them just like an lesbians. I don't actually get it. But yes, their bonding is actually looking really very artificial out there. So yeah, and the next thing is they do ended up with the season pretty well. Mogdin is being introduced by the very end of the season 2, and she can able to defeat the Lanfear with ease, right? And I do laugh out loud of that scene because Mogdin is in book is a total clown, right? She doesn't have any decisive role. She's been constantly bullied by Nynaeve and Elena. So yeah, I don't know how her characters are going to be turn out the future events. So yeah, let's wait and see. I do hope the showrunners will make a fair job out of all these characters in the upcoming season. So yeah, let's wait and see. I'm really very excited to watch the season 3 and to reach the end of the Wheel of Time series. So yeah, let's hope everything turns out to be really very well. So yeah, that's all about the video. You can check out my previous video right down here. So I will meet you with the Gathering Storm book review by the next week. So until then, tada, bye bye. Meet you soon.